Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTbase.com. Welcome to this week's Commitments of Traders review. Today we're going to have a look at the 14th COT report of 2013. And as usual, we're going to start off with the changes in commercials positions. We've got gasoline on top with a 34% change in commercials positions. And an even greater, larger change in large speculators positions, a 43% change. You can see this happening after this pretty nice decline in prices. And the change size can be viewed over here, much larger than average. Let's have a look at the 5-year chart and see how extreme this market is. Here we go. You can see we had a pretty large extreme not long ago. Over here, that was a very bearish signal. You can see in the past how well these extremes signaled a top in prices. So this was just recently, and now we're moving away from these levels. Of course, one may ask, when will we reach the opposite extreme? Well, you can see there we have some relative extremes over here. These can actually put an end to a decline. But of course, a really nice and large extreme would be something over here. Let's say 10-15,000 contracts net short in case of commercials. So we're a bit far from those levels. But of course, that doesn't mean that we need to reach it to really get a bottom in prices. That may come a bit sooner. Anyways, let's move on and let's have a look at live cattle, where we had a 24% change in commercials positions. 23 basically the same size change in large speculators positions, which is interesting now. That is, it's basically only small speculators who are net short. Both large speculators and commercials are actually net long. But if you look at this 1-year chart, it happened a few times in the past, so that's not that surprising. Let's have a look at the 5-year chart and see how extreme this market is. Here we go. You can see we are at actually pretty decent extreme levels now. If you look at commercials, the last time they were at such levels was way back here in 2009, basically, and that was a time when prices were, well, at least on this 5-year chart, in a really low position. So we may expect something similar to happen. I'm just going to show you another example over here when commercials were net long, put a end to this decline over here. So even though we are at pretty high levels that you can see on this 5-year chart, we may actually see the continuation of this rally. And the fact that small speculators are, well, they're not net long, but at such a relatively small net short level doesn't necessarily mean that because they're so optimistic we should expect a decline. As I've told you a couple of times, you have to be aware of the fact that a lot of commercial participants are in small speculators category, since they're not reaching those great trading volumes that would put them into commercials groups. Okay, now the next market is oats. We had a 22% change here in commercials positions. You can see it over here. It's actually a pretty large change, although we do see larger changes in the past. This was happening just after a rebound in prices, so that's interesting because of course everybody knows that the report is showing Tuesday's position, so we're a bit away, maybe a little bit late for this this signal over here. But let's have a look at the 5-year chart and see how extreme this market is, whether we still have the opportunity to enter a trade, and of course we're going to see in which direction. Here you can see that commercials were relatively at an extreme short level not far, well, basically a week ago, and that actually signaled a top, which is actually a bit late signal if you look at the chart over here. So we had the top over here, and as it came and prices started to decline, the extreme just widened a bit even more. Okay, so it's a very interesting signal we've got here. But one thing's for sure, to get a really nice buy signal, I'm going to show you a few points in time over here when the extreme was at such level. And you can see all of those occasions, commercials were almost net long or at net long levels. So we're away from those levels, which means we could actually see the continuation of this decline. This short rally that we were experiencing last week may be finished in a few days, and we may see the continuation of this decline. Moving on to large speculator COT Extreme. Here we go. Copper, soybean oil on top. Let's open copper first, and then we're going to move on to soybean oil. We have an all-time COT Extreme over here. Let's open a 5-year chart and see this extreme. We've actually talked about copper last week. It was pretty obvious that we have a very bullish signal, so there's no question to that. If you look at these occasions back in time, these were always signaling bottoms in the price. So we may actually see something similar happen again in copper. Moving on to soybean oil, an all-time signal over there. Here we go. Let's open the 5-year chart right away. There we go. So you can see the buy signal pretty clearly over here whenever commercials were at such extreme levels. Those were always times when prices reached a bottom. So we're actually at very large extreme levels, all-time levels. So there's really no question historically that we have a very bullish signal in soybean oil. And our last market, wheat, Minneapolis wheat 396 report extreme over there. As I look at it, it's basically only small speculators taking the long side of the market. That's usually a bearish signal, actually, but in this case, the fact that commercials are at such levels may actually push prices higher. If you look back in time, whenever they were at such levels, those were really bottoms in the price. So that's going to be all for this week. I'm not going to show you any more charts, but you can check them out at our COT charts page. Or if you would like to have a more in-depth and detailed COT analysis, of course, you can check out our subscription service at cotbase.com, where you can add other really important and useful functions to your table, look at new COT reports, report types, and of course other data types if you're interested in it. So I hope you enjoyed my review, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.